chatting with Ann Dowd and Jake Tapper and the gay shark Handmaid.
I gotta get that guy for my show.
I know, you really
like the gay
do.
shark Handmaid.
I gotta tell you, I mean, first of all, handmaids are meant for breeding, so, like to carry babies. I mean, it's all wrong over there.
He's a conundrum. He's an enigma.
He is an enigma.
Yeah.
Jake, Rebecca Wicker said, if you were back in the White House press corps, what issue would you be pressing the most with the press secretary, and what advice would you give to those in the current White House press corps? Also, those dimples, though, she said.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My mom thanks you. I think the immigration story is one that seems to have fallen off the radar a little bit of the media, and we need to keep focusing on that, especially the children that have been separated from their parents by the U.S. government,
right.
which is something that we need to stay on top of. What I wish for the White House press corps today is the same thing I wished for back when I was a member of the White House press corps. We should follow up each other's questions. We should be a unit. We shouldn't let the press secretary, whether it's Robert Gibbs or Sarah Sanders,
shut something down.
Yeah, stop that question by going to this question. We should be unified. We've seen a little bit of that, but I'd like to see more of it.
That's so interesting. And Tyler N wants to know what you think of protesters dressing up as handmaids to troll Mike Pence.
I think it's brilliant.
You know, I will say, as I was thinking, we were. As you watch the show, you really can't help thinking. You see how, look, when you study Nazi Germany, you see how that happened. When you look at The Handmaid's Tale, you can see how it happened. And I mean, look, you know, but I will say Mike Pence is as close to a religious kind of, he's
very devout.
Yes. Well, there you go.
But I thought devout meant authentic and real.
I'm not sure that's what it means, but...
Oh, good, yeah. So in my head, confusion, yeah. That's true.
Let's go back to the phones. Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling?
Hey, is this is my own?
Yeah, you're on, buddy. What's your name?
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is Quint from Greensboro. Oh, my God, man, it's been a while. What you got on tonight?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. You're looking sharp as always.
Thanks, buddy. Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to you. You are the man, Andy. I could just eat you up.
Wow. All right.
What's that Bob Uecker song about the fire down below? You remember that?
The Bob Uecker song about the fire down below?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening right now with us?
It's Seeger. It's
Seeger. Bob
Seeger.
Yeah, Bob Seeger. Yeah, I was like, Bob Uecker.
I was watching.
Yeah.
I was watching Belvedere earlier. I got Uecker on the brain.
Yeah. Well, thanks, man. The feeling's mutual, dude. What's your question?
Yeah. This is for Jake. Love you too, man. Bananas, apples, the whole 9 yards. My question was, do you think there's any chance that Dana Bash and John King could get back together, and could you perhaps be a player as far as matchmaking or getting them back together?
You want them back together, don't you, sir? You want them back together.
I want to see it. I see sparks. I see a kindling there. I see it in their eyes.
I love this.
That magic screen is about to short circuit.
Okay.
I don't really have an opinion on the matter. They're both great colleagues and friends. I will say that they are both very dedicated to their beautiful son, Jonah.
Yes.
And that is the most important thing about Dana and John, is that how dedicated they are to making sure that Jonah is brought up knowing that he has two loving parents.
Yeah.
And that's all really I'm focused on.
And man, John King can work that board like nobody.
You know something? Show me somebody better at the board than John King.
No.
Just show me somebody. I don't know anybody better than
true.
John King at the board.
Yeah. You know, there's a weatherman on WCBS here in New York.
No.
I just want to say, he's blonde, he's super attractive, he rolls up the shirt sleeves, and man, he gets in there with that board. But Lonnie Quinn, but I just want to say.
Does he know how many people in Franklin County voted for O'Connor?
Yes, no.
That's what I'm
not better
saying.
than John King. That caller really had a POV. He really did. A few POVs.
People believe in romance.
Yes.
People want, you know.
Yeah. Do you think that guy is my soulmate and that he and I are going to wind
Yes.
up together? Yes.
I would pursue it.
Yes. Okay, back to the phones. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling?
I think it was in Ozark, actually.
Hi, I'm Heather from Bel Air, Florida.
Hey, Heather, what's your question?
Andy, I love you, and my gay cockapoo puppy wants to hump you and Waka.
Thank you. Man, the freaks come out at night, man. What's your question?
I don't know what my dogs like you too. I don't know or ask their preference.
No. What's your question?
Question is for Ann and Jake. You guys deal with so much heavy material.
Yeah.
And such a grueling schedule. What do you both do in your personal lives, like to wind down and to just enjoy?
Good question.
Do you want to handle?
What do you do to
I
wind
thought you
down?
might want to go first.
I'll go first. I have an 8-year-old boy and a 10-year-old girl and a lovely wife, and that's where I spend my time and my energy focusing on them. And they don't care about anything I'm covering, and they don't care about the Mueller investigation.
Perfect.
They're talking about, whether or not they had a good day at camp, or drama at school.
Perfect.
So that's where my energy is.
What about you?
Well, my children are a little older, so I start with a beverage. Okay. And then I attend.
When do you start shooting season 3?
I think it's October, early October.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm in the middle of season 3 right now.
Yes. Okay, 4 more calls. Let's bang them out. Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling?
Hi, my name is Becca, and I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Hey, Becca, what's your question?
And my question is for Ann Dowd. Ann, before the question, you scare the bejesus out of me every time I watch, but I can't stop watching, and I'm watching now the second time in a row.
Wow.
I'm wondering, isn't it hard to smack the hell out of Elizabeth Moss all the time?
No, it's a great pleasure. I call her my favorite slut. And I can't get to her fast enough. But she's totally lovely.
Back to the phones. Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling?
Hi, my name is Diane, and I'm calling from Marion Station, PA.
Hey, Diane.
Hi. I have a question for Jake.
Okay.
My dad lives in Marion Station, PA, so I'm a little worried.
Is that right?
Well, actually, I was wondering if you remember anything about your preschool at the Y, because I was your preschool teacher.
Oh, my God!
At the
Honestly.
YMHA on Broad Street?
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember going there. It was a few years ago.
You were his preschool teacher? What kind of a child was he? What was his temperament?
He was adorable. And he always, he always, I have
Tell the
pictures
truth.
of him. And actually, my son tweeted you once one of the pictures that he found on my coffee table.
Oh, no.
And you had I think a plaid shirt on, but you always used to wear like man trousers, like with brown, with like a cuff. I mean, this was 1972, correct?
That sounds right. We were, we're very rugged in the Tapper household. But I have fond memories. I mean, I don't have any specific memories, but I have fond memories
I appreciate
of the Young Men and Young Women's Hebrew Association. So, well, thank you so much. I'm sure you were a great teacher because I
thank you.
have nice
Thank
memories
you.
from there.
It was nice to talk to you.
Nice talking to you. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's amazing.
Lovely.
That's amazing. Okay, back to the phones. Caller, what's your name? Oh, Gay Shark, you have drinks for our guests, too.
Oh, no.
What's your name and from where are you calling?
Hi, my name is Mona. I'm from New Jersey, and my question is for Ann. You were on one of my favorite shows that I love doing, Good Behavior, and I wanted to know, is it going to be renewed for season 3?
We're waiting to hear. I certainly hope so, but we don't have word yet.
There you go. Okay, last call of the night. Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling?
Hi, my name is Michelle. I'm calling from Jacksonville, Florida.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Andy. Hey, guys. How are you?
Great.
Well,
Michelle.
thank you.
Good. I just want to say quickly, I love all 3 of you. You're all so different from one another, but truly great at what you do. My question is for Jake.
Yes.
Okay, hey Jake. I love your show, but admittedly, I have a hard time paying attention because you're just so cute. But my question is,
That's not. I'm pretty sure that's not a common affliction, but okay.
you'd be surprised. Of all the people though that you've interviewed, who would you say was most unexpectedly funny?
The most unexpectedly funny person that I've interviewed.
Kellyanne Conway's pretty funny.
And not the way she means, I think.
know.
That's a tough one. You know, there are a lot of senators. I remember the first time I interviewed John McCain, and this is years ago, before I was on TV. He's very funny. He has a very, very clever and almost a slapstick kind of wit, and that surprised me a lot. This is 20 years ago or so, but I guess he was the one that was most unexpectedly funny because he's really actually very clever and amusing. And if he's watching out there, we're all hoping for you to get better and join us back in Washington soon.
Absolutely. Well, it's been such a pleasure having you both.
I wish it wasn't over.
Really
It went
fun.
very quickly.
Wait, why do we have to stop?
Well,
Couldn't
we
we
don't
continue?
actually.
They're lovely.
Well, you know what? Actually, well, since you said that, well, let me just. I have more questions because I'm binging your show and I'm into everything that's happening with you right now. I'm very concerned about. Jim Acosta posted this very upsetting video last week from a rally that the president had, where people were really attacking the correspondents there. How do you, it doesn't seem like the president is gonna, he's not gonna back down from this. The media is the enemy, and this is the enemy of the people. So how does this net out? What winds up happening? Do you think they're just gonna have a pool camera covering his events? Or?
No, I don't think so. But I do think that one of the things that's important is we all know, and President Trump has been doing this now for a while, for a couple of years.
Right.
He wants to discredit anyone that is attempting to provide any sort of accountability or oversight over what he's doing. Congress is supposed to be providing oversight. You can judge how good a job they're doing or not, but the media is there. And we are providing oversight. And a lot of the things that we've learned have only been because of the media, whether it has to do with Scott Pruitt at the EPA or any of the other scandals that have gone on. What we need to do is focus on what our job is, which is telling the story, delivering the news. If President Trump does something that works, we cover that. If he does something that doesn't work, we cover it, and just going where the facts lead us. He wants us to become the resistance. He wants us to become the opposition. And we need to not take the bait. We need to stay and stand and deliver, do our stand-ups, as Jim Acosta was doing in front of the crowd, and tell the story about what's going on. And that's the way that this ends, is because no matter what, I've been in Washington since 1992. Presidents come and presidents go. And the rest of us stay. The media is going to be there no matter what. And whether Donald Trump leaves in 2021 or 2025, he is going to leave, and we're still going to be there. And we need to make sure that we have our credibility and we restore the trust that people want to have in us.
I agree. Two more things. I just wonder for you if you've talked to Margaret Atwood about what you think Aunt Lydia. Have you given yourself a backstory? Do you have a sense of where she came from?
That's such a great question.
Or
really
what
is.
her damage is?
Other than Young Lydia, the sitcom.
Right.
Yeah, which
I just got a deal, by the way, with
You sold Young
with
Lydia.
Hulu,
Yes.
during the commercial break.
Yeah, I liked him so much right away. Well, Bruce Miller said that she was a teacher.
Okay. Yeah.
Bruce Miller's our showrunner, our head writer. That was very helpful because you can imagine her in an all-girls school, being the one watching the sex going on left, right, and center, the language that skirts up to here, and she's sitting with her mouth open. What's going on here? If you imagine, was she the one who had sex at 13 and loved it, and then got pregnant and the baby taken? Something horrific. So that she got on her hands and knees and just said, if you just give me one more chance, I will never disappoint you.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? What closes so many doors?
Right. Yeah.
That's great. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine? Isn't it
mean,
those
it's not,
things?
That's not a great experience.
Yes.
But you know, you
Right.
fall in love and you
Yes.
think,
Yeah.
suddenly the doors slam.
I love how much you've thought about that. It's wonderful.
The thing that brings you together in the Venn diagram is the White House Correspondents' Dinner, where Michelle Wolf made the joke about
Sarah Sanders.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders being Aunt Lydia.
Yeah.
And so your reaction and your reaction.
Want to go first?
Well, I mean, I just remember there was a big outcry about how awful these jokes were at Sarah Sanders' expense, and it was tough. I mean, no question. And I do think that there are a lot of people who take the brunt of the attacks instead of the president,
Right.
and which is kind of unfair.
Right.
But I will say, if all of a sudden we're going to have a conversation about decency and respect. I welcome people from the Trump White House to that conversation. We've been trying to have that conversation on my show for a couple of years. We got a backlog of stuff before we get to the Aunt Lydia joke. You know,
Right.
It starts with Mexicans are rapists and John McCain's not a war hero. And
Right.
we got a few things before we get to the Aunt Lydia joke. We can get there,
Right.
but that was my basic response.
Got it. Yeah, we're all so mired, and it's like, what was your reaction?
Well, as I was telling Jake, I was in Australia in jet lag.
So true.
And I literally turned the television on, and Michelle Wolf was saying things, and then suddenly I heard, "And I'd like you so much as Aunt Lydia in The Handmaid's Tale." And my first thought was, no, but I'm playing Aunt Lydia. I literally went to that really bizarre
She
place.
thought there had been a casting decision.
And then I thought, oh no, I know what it is. It's an SNL skit. This is not real. But then of course I was asked, what do you think? And I was thinking, well, I'm in the business of make-believe. You know, when I go home at the end of the day, there are no consequences to what I do on that show.
Right.
Everybody has their eye and their digits and this and that. It's make-believe. Your world, and it's not. There are
Right.
consequences.
Yeah.
And at first I thought, well, it's not my place to personally insult that woman. I don't know her. And I don't want to do that, because what does that do to another except build a wall? Sorry.
Yeah.
Who's paying for it?
Yeah, exactly. Who's paying for it? But then I thought, well, excuse me, you are a young woman, Sanders, with intelligence, and this is the job you've chosen. And so answer for it somehow.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then I thought, what am I? No, I think it's absurd what she's doing.
Right.
Anyway.
I want to thank both of you for being here. And to you, Daniel Shark. For more, click around BravoTV.com. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Watch more clips here and subscribe to our channel here. See ya.